Dinar Shift is bringing you the latest major currency news that has captured the attention of financial communities worldwide. The current surge in online speculation concerning the Iraqi dinar and the Vietnamese dong has reached a fever pitch, with widespread chatter claiming colossal, imminent value shifts for both currencies. Rumors suggest the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, is poised to revalue the dinar to a staggering $3.81 against the US dollar, while simultaneously the Vietnamese government is rumored to be confirming a new one-to-one parity for the dong, setting it at $1. This is the kind of massive financial speculation that immediately sparks a wave of intense excitement. But it also necessitates a critical and sober look at the facts. We must examine the roots of this exploding rumor mill, separate verifiable information from online conjecture, and understand what viewers should truly be focusing on in this environment of heightened expectation and emotion. Understanding the delicate balance between hope and realism is paramount for anyone following this highly volatile currency narrative in 2025. The core of this electrifying conversation revolves around two specific, unconfirmed exchange rates that have been heavily circulated across social platforms, forums, and unofficial financial blogs. For the Iraqi Dinar IQD, the figure of $3.81 is being touted as a potential new, officially announced value, a change that would represent a monumental revaluation. Simultaneously, proponents of the Vietnamese dong, VND narrative are clinging to the idea of a $1 exchange rate, an economic scenario that would similarly rewrite the financial future of Vietnam. These specific numbers, though currently lacking any formal credible backing from international financial bodies or the respective national central banks, are the fuel igniting the current wave of anticipation. The sheer scale of the potential financial implications is what drives this attention, causing many longtime holders to wonder if their wait is finally coming to an end. However, a crucial point of informational clarity must be underscored. These highly publicized values remain completely unverified by any universally recognized official source. Major global banking institutions, international financial regulatory bodies, and official government press releases have not offered any confirmation whatsoever regarding these specific, dramatic rate adjustments. The buzz is generated purely through speculation and community-driven enthusiasm. It is this gap between online hope and official reality that creates the emotional intensity surrounding these currencies. For our viewers, maintaining a clear distinction between what is being said and what has been officially verified is the most important guardrail against making decisions based on unproven claims. The dialogue continues, but the core fact remains one of unconfirmed, hopeful speculation. This cyclical pattern of intense rumor and subsequent disappointment is a well-known feature of the IQD and VND conversation, and it raises a fundamental question: is a revaluation of this magnitude, the kind that transforms an emerging market currency into a global powerhouse overnight, actually plausible? The argument supporting such a drastic shift points to the tremendous resource wealth of Iraq, particularly its vast oil reserves, which some believe could eventually justify a stronger currency value as the nation rebuilds and stabilizes its economy. Similarly, supporters highlight Vietnam's robust export-driven economy and its impressive, sustained manufacturing growth as the eventual logical basis for a major currency upgrade. These economic fundamentals, proponents argue, lay the long-term groundwork for a significant adjustment. On the other side of this complex financial debate are the more cautious analysts and critics, who argue that major abrupt currency shifts are not a characteristic of modern global finance. They emphasize that genuine, sustainable economic reform and currency strengthening typically occur gradually, over years or even decades, through consistent policy implementation and fiscal responsibility. Critics maintain that while both Iraq and Vietnam are undertaking economic reforms, a positive development in itself, a jump to a $3.81 dinar or a $1 dong in a single, explosive event defies the typical slow-moving process of international monetary adjustment. The critics stress that a mere alignment of economic potential does not automatically translate into a sudden, massive currency revaluation without official structural change. For individuals who currently hold or are following the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong, the experience is often likened to an emotional roller coaster, defined by alternating peaks of exciting rumors and sharp valleys of expert skepticism. The sheer length of time many have been following these currencies, some for more than a decade, adds a deep personal element to the conversation, creating a strong sense of hope that one day their patience will be rewarded. This mix of waiting, hoping, and navigating conflicting reports generates a turbulent environment of excitement, fear, and uncertainty among followers. It is this real human element of the currency journey that requires the utmost focus on verifiable information and emotional discipline, prioritizing informed awareness over the rush of sudden, rumor-driven action. The period when intense rumors circulate is also a time of heightened risk due to the potential for fraudulent activity. When speculation about a massive revaluation is at its peak, opportunistic individuals and scammers often attempt to exploit the excitement, promising shortcuts, special exchange rates, or insider access in return for upfront fees or personal information. This is where the emotional nature of the conversation can become a serious vulnerability. We cannot overstate the importance of personal financial safety during these periods. The responsible and prudent course of action is to completely disregard any offer that promises an early exchange or a secret preferential rate. Financial security is founded on caution and adherence to formal, recognized banking channels. To safeguard against manipulation, viewers should always operate under a firm rule: never hand over currency or sensitive personal documentation to unverified third parties or online platforms, regardless of the claims being made about the dinar or the dong. Real, official financial changes are announced by central banks and will be executed through established financial institutions. Anyone claiming to have a unique secret window into the process is highly likely to be attempting a scam. The pathway to managing a potential financial shift, should it ever occur, is through documented, legal, and public channels, not through anonymous whispers or paid-for speculative services. A consistent question arises: why do these revaluation rumors repeatedly gain action and resurface? The answer lies in the genuine economic activity occurring within both nations. Iraq, despite its structural and political challenges, is actively working on strengthening its banking sector, implementing critical financial reforms, and striving for deeper integration into the global financial architecture. These efforts, though slow, are visible and provide a logical basis for the long-term hope of a stronger dinar. Similarly, Vietnam's demonstrable economic strength, marked by robust manufacturing and an expanding international trade footprint, gives credence to the fundamental argument that its currency should reflect its global economic role. Proponents of the revaluation narrative view these underlying economic improvements, the infrastructure projects, the trade agreements, the institutional reforms, as concrete signals that a major monetary adjustment is being prepared behind the scenes. They argue that the speculative excitement isn't pulled from thin air but is instead built upon the observable reality of both countries' attempts to stabilize and grow. However, financial experts consistently remind the community that fundamental economic health, while unnecessary, is not the sole requirement for an explosive, immediate currency revaluation. Such a change would require formal, coordinated consent and recognition from key global financial regulators and systems. The online communities that follow these currencies have cultivated a distinct culture, often fueled by the thrilling concept of a massive, life-altering wealth transfer. This shared hope and intense speculation drive the sharing of alleged insider information, screenshots, and anonymous reports that purportedly originate from private banking circles. It is vital to recognize that in the digital age, a compelling rumor can spread instantly, often without any foundation. A leaked image can be digitally manipulated, and whispers from unnamed sources cannot be verified. The only information that carries any weight is that which is formally issued, publicly documented, and officially acknowledged by the world's trusted financial authorities. For those who have committed to following this journey, the most intelligent and protective approach is one of disciplined preparation, built on facts and free from rumor-driven anxiety. This preparation involves meticulous record-keeping, knowing the exact quantity of currency held, ensuring all associated documentation is secure, and diligently following updates from genuine, recognized banking and governmental news channels. The goal of this responsible preparation is to ensure that if an official event ever does occur, the individual is positioned to act swiftly and correctly, based on verifiable truth, not on online hearsay. Preparation is a shield. It replaces fear and impulsivity with calm, actionable readiness. The persistence of these high-value rumors highlights the immense potential profit that a dramatic rate change could unlock, even for those holding relatively modest amounts of currency. This potential for significant wealth creation is precisely why responsible financial education and planning are indispensable. A person who gains sudden financial success without the necessary knowledge is acutely vulnerable to making poor decisions, succumbing to rushed advice, or falling into predatory investment schemes. Preparation, therefore, must extend beyond merely waiting for a rate change to include thoughtful financial planning, risk assessment, and establishing a clear strategy for managing large financial assets responsibly. Supporters continue to circulate these specific rate rumors because they genuinely believe that substantial progress is being made in private negotiations and internal economic structuring. They point to evidence of strengthening trade relationships, high-level international economic meetings, upgrades to digital payment systems, and widespread national reconstruction efforts as proof that the groundwork for a monetary shift is accelerating. This perspective often connects the dinar's future to its historic pre-conflict valuation and the dong's future to its modern status as an industrial powerhouse. It is this conviction in the underlying potential that keeps the speculative dialogue alive and vibrant across the globe. For all viewers, whether new to the conversation or veterans of the long waiting period, the key to navigating this highly speculative environment is maintaining an operational and emotional balance. Allow yourself to acknowledge the hope and excitement that these rumors generate, but firmly root your actions in grounded, factual reality. Celebrate the possibility of future economic growth, but prioritize the protection of your current stand. By waiting for official confirmation before taking any irreversible action, misinformation travels at the speed of light, but true, verifiable news moves deliberately through formal channels, and only confirmed facts should dictate your financial strategy. It is also important for the community to internalize the reality that major financial adjustments, even when they are genuine, rarely manifest as a sudden, one-time explosion of value. Most successful, lasting currency strengthening initiatives are implemented through a series of measured, gradual steps that occur over an extended period. Therefore, even if the current, highly dramatic, rumored rates of $3.81 and $1 prove to be significantly exaggerated or unfounded, smaller incremental improvements in the exchange rates of the dinar and the dong could still represent valuable and positive progress over time. A measured, patient approach is often rewarded more reliably than one based on the expectation of an instant, colossal leap. The global community dedicated to following the progress of the dinar and dong is characterized by its passion and its continuous exchange of information and analysis. This connection is a powerful asset, but it carries the responsibility of ensuring that the information being shared is rooted in truth. Members must actively work to share verifiable facts, promptly and respectfully correct false claims, and support each other with guidance that emphasizes financial awareness and security. The truest form of financial preparation comes not just from holding a currency but from possessing the knowledge to make wise, informed decisions when the time for action finally arrives. The most common request from individuals watching these developments is for definitive clarity, to know if the current wave is the moment or merely another round of recurring speculation. The straightforward truth remains that without an official public announcement from the relevant central banks or a clear endorsement from global financial authorities, all claims must be categorized as speculation. The only way to find out if something genuine is occurring is to monitor trusted financial news networks, established international banks, and formal governmental announcements. These are the sources where any real significant change will first be reflected and confirmed. If a major, international, recognized revaluation were ever to be formally approved and implemented, the sheer magnitude of the event would make it impossible to miss. It would not require a private rumor channel for dissemination. It would be front-page news across every major global media outlet and would be immediately and visibly reflected in interbank exchange systems and official market data. This fundamental reality is why a strategy of informed patience and cautious observation remains the single most prudent course of action for anyone following the dinar and the dong. Your financial protection must always be the highest priority. The most productive step you can take right now is to actively shield your financial decision-making process from the influence of misinformation and unchecked emotional responses. Treat every new, dramatic claim as a question that requires proof, not an answer to be accepted immediately. Insist on seeing verifiable consistency and authoritative confirmation. Always remember that the security of your currency and your personal data holds infinitely more value than the fleeting excitement of an unconfirmed rumor. This current wave of speculation will inevitably subside, and another will likely follow until an official event occurs. Cultivating a calm, educated, and well-informed mindset is the most valuable long-term asset in this unpredictable currency environment. When you are adequately prepared and have done your own diligence, no speculative claim can truly surprise or mislead you. Your presence on this channel signifies a commitment to understanding the difference between genuine progress and market hype. A wise starting point. Staying updated on verifiable economic developments ensures that you are ready whenever real changes, which historically take time, finally materialize. When that definitive moment arrives, you will be in a position to act on truth, not on risk. Therefore, we conclude with a firm reiteration of the essential facts. Yes, the current speculation is intense. Yes, the rumored figures are highly attractive. Yes, the concept of a massive currency shift is fundamentally thrilling. However, until the world's official financial mechanisms, the Central Bank of Iraq, the State Bank of Vietnam, and major international banking systems, formally confirm a new official exchange rate for the dinar or the dong, every report remains firmly in the realm of theory and speculation. Maintain your hope, but always exercise extreme caution. Stay curious about the process, but anchor your strategy in verifiable information. Protect your assets, protect your privacy, and protect your future from predatory claims. For every individual who has remained committed, year after year, to the potential of these currencies, we want to acknowledge your dedication. You are part of a massive, globally connected community. Millions are watching and hoping alongside you, regardless of whether these specific, unconfirmed rates become reality this year or in the years ahead. Your choice to stay educated and aware places you in the most advantageous position possible. You possess the power to make intelligent decisions in a rapidly shifting environment. Should these rumors transition into an undeniable reality one day, it will be an economic event that cannot be ignored. Until then, hope and caution must function as partners. While excitement is a natural part of the journey, disciplined and intelligent preparation is the critical factor that converts opportunity into genuine success. We urge you to stay tuned, stay sharp, and keep watching for the official confirmed updates, because when the genuine, monetary event begins, you will want to be informed by the truth.